Hey guys, what's up? You are watching the fourth podcast or listening to it, the fourth podcast of The Bitter Jury. And we are here tonight to talk about the second HOH, so the first full-on HOH episode. My name is Kelly.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Daniel.
Okay, so let's... Sorry, Daniel, I cut you off. What was that?
I said I'm Daniel and I'm back.
Yes, that's right, because Daniel was gone last week because he was having internet issues, and then Lou is gone this week because he's having issues as well. So hopefully by Wednesday, we will all be back together, the four of us, the four Musketeers, as it's widely known. So let's just go right into it. So the HOH comp was this really cool comp where basically everyone had to reveal their cards of first impressions. And I really like this comp because it forces house guests to kind of figure out how they're perceived, or it shows how they're being perceived so they can either run with it or change their behaviors like almost instantly. What do you guys think?
Oh, I agree. I feel like it's a really cool comp to have in the beginning, especially for, like you said, that you everyone gets to really see how they're viewed. And I think the person who benefited the most from this is actually Paris. She heard some of the best things for her game, that everyone thinks she's dumb and easily manipulated. And at first she was like all sad and stuff, and I was kind of confused. And then she goes into her secret room by herself, and she's just dancing around. I'm like, there you go. That's what you need to do. That's perfect for her. So I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that style of comp too this early, because it stirs the pot when the early weeks can sort of be kind of boring and where there's not a lot of fuel to the fire, and it kind of adds a little bit of drama to the to the scenario, and I think that's always good.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with Paris. I was actually, or with what you were saying, Daniel, about Paris. I wrote in my notes as I was watching this episode about how she was upset that she's being perceived as dumb and easy to manipulate. And I was like, girl, you should be like using that to your advantage. That's what this is all about in this game. And I thought that you came in super prepared. And then they show like later on that she's like freaking out and dancing about it, and how that's exactly how she wants to be perceived. And I was like, oh, there's my Netta right there. Yeah. Now I get why people are starting to like compare you to Netta. So let's keep the Paris train going.
Yeah,
super happy about that. I don't remember who got Paris in the draw, but good on you guys.
It's probably
one of the questions. Go ahead, Jacob.
I think it was Lou, actually. I think Lou has Paris, but I'm not sure.
Man, Lou should be here right now, being super pumped about this, but that's okay because I know that he would be if he could be, right?
Right.
So I thought that a really messed up question from there was who was the least deserving of to win the money. I don't know, that question, like all the questions were really messed up. They were all negative questions, but that one just really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
That one I thought was kind of I was okay with that one because it's like but the one, if we're picking questions that rubbed us the wrong way, that was the who would have the least people at their funeral. I was like, oh, ouch.
Yeah.
That one kind of stings a little bit.
Because that one just means you're a shitty person, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, but anyways,
I was fine with the least deserving, because like the perceptions are like they're there to be Instagram famous or whatever, and I think that's fine. I think like people have different reasons, and I think for some of them money is not the primary motivation. So I think it's a fine question to ask.
Okay, I guess. No, I still, what, I'm going to stand my ground. I think that it's the most messed up question. And I would, because, I mean, like, compared to the funeral question, which I think, okay, yeah, you have 17 strangers, like, they don't know your whole lifestyle, but, like, you go there to win the money. And so that's why I was like, oh, that's a really, like, I would not be, that's the one that if anyone chose that one for me, like, I'd be super pissed off. I would know how to spin it, like kind of work that angle, but people thinking that I don't deserve the money because then they can drag me to the final 2.
Right.
But that would still really sting because like I mean that's just me like wanting to be there in the long run.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely, it would be super fun to have those questions asked of you in the house. I think you have to go into the Big Brother house and have really thick skin, and I think it really showed who didn't have thick skin, and who's able to let things kind of go off their shoulders, and I think that's another thing that's really cool about that comp.
So it seems. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, I was gonna say, and I also thought it was really funny that every time someone nominated themselves, they were wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Jacob, it kind of seems like you're alluding to Andrew with that about how it kind of hit people super hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Like Andrew too. Like I don't know. I mean, we'll talk more about Andrew later, but just the way that he handled having drinks thrown in his face in a game, just it really just didn't shine a good light on him. And then we'll talk about him more later. I'm really upset with Andrew.
Well, we can talk about him now, because I mean, what I wanted to bring up was like the first real bit of drama, especially this episode, was the fact that Erica took him out first, and he got real pissed at that, and also the other stuff that was being said that the house thought of him, like he what was it?
The least trustworthy.
Yeah.
Least trustworthy. Yeah.
Oh, it's like that, huh? All right.
Yeah. I mean, like he just gave a lecture on how to paint a huge target on yourself. Like if he wasn't the target before that comp, he definitely is or should be now in the eyes of most of the house. It's really stupid. It's some of the worst gameplay I've ever seen. The only other really bad game player on that level that I can think of is, what's his name from BB16, the big guy who was like an athlete.
Devin.
Yeah, Devin.
Oh, Devin.
Yeah,
he did something kind of
similar. He did something kind of similar. Week 1, let's get everyone to go against the house and backdoor someone.
Yeah.
What?
Oh man.
Yeah, no wonder they knew you weren't trustworthy. Holy crap.
Yeah. Let's save the old lady, right from the get-go, and the whole house wants,
Yeah.
So I think that I'm a little confused when it comes to Andrew and the whole least trustworthy thing. And just so there was like this whole thing this whole string of events that happened where like Andrew was the least trustworthy, and then Eric and Andrew had kind of like a falling out, and then they got back together again. And because I haven't really watched too much of the feeds, but I've been kind of keeping up.
Yeah.
Through Reddit, and it seems like there was a lot of stuff that if I had not kept up on Reddit, then I would be very confused. Like, why is Andrew being considered? Like, why is he being targeted? Why is he being shown as like the black sheep of the house? Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, the edit wasn't great at showing that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what they should have done, I don't know if they did in the recap because we all missed it, but Andrew went around and tried to flip the house week 1, which is why people think that he's shady. Like, because the whole house had this idea of, okay, this is our target, and he went around and tried to flip it at the very end. And
yeah, and see, like, I kind of caught that, but if I was just basing my information just off the episode, wasn't Hamza the person that was going around trying to flip?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
they both were. Yeah,
but based on the episode, you would only think that Hamza was doing that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I was just like, I was just very confused. So that one, they need to have a little more continuity.
Yeah, for sure.
Throughout the episodes, that way the only episodes viewers can see how it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anything else that you guys want to add about Andrew? I think he's in a lot of trouble this week.
Yeah, I'm just really mad that I drafted him.
Yeah, I mean, you were forced to be fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we said when we were doing our initial cast review, he's going to be the one to shoot himself in his own foot, essentially, is what we were talking about. Just how he's coming in with his cockiness and confidence, and just He's a little bit too confident if he's trying to sway an entire house for no reason week one.
Yeah.
That's a little bit too much self-confidence.
And then to put on the Cosby sweater and give everybody hugs and like pretend like that's gonna endear you to the house.
Yeah, it's like, this is the most obvious pandering I've ever done.
Yeah.
Hello. Why am I hugging you? You guessed it. Yeah, let's do it anyways. Yeah, it just the whole thing just made me go, oh no. So yeah, he's out for sure, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think I still stand by what I said last week though about how it's ridiculous that what's her name didn't go home last week. Instead, Rosina did. Yeah, it's so like those house guests are they're really frustrating and they're really stupid for not sending home a player. But I mean, so it kind of seems like Andrew was coming into this situation where he was thinking that more people would be thinking one way, and if I was a gamer in there, then I would definitely be thinking that way. And they came in more to do something else. I don't even know.
Well, have an easy first week. You don't know anybody. You don't want to ruffle too many feathers. Let's say you try to get Allie out and it doesn't work. And then either her or one of her allies that she made in the house becomes HOH. You're on the block.
No, I get that. And that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't get why people didn't send Allie home last week. And why, like, I don't understand why Rosina is out of the house and Allie is still in the house.
Because she was annoying, and you don't want to put up with that.
Yeah,
and it's week one. You don't know who's going to be strong, who's not going to be strong. It's just, it was the easy choice. Easy
target, yeah. And it's unfortunate because I want more of Rosina in my life. But, you know, it's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Because you're right. If something were to go haywire with a veto, or anything like that, and you made it clear that Allie was the target before the veto ceremony, then week 2, week 3, you're a target by anybody who she's made friends with in the house. And she's got a super strong social game. So,
right.
Yeah, but that's still not what I'm saying though. Like, I'm still saying it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't think that it's an easy, because you always want to have someone in there that you can beat. Sure. And Allie might be someone who could potentially beat you versus Rosina. Out of 1 week of like getting to know her, like I know, like anyone would know that they could beat her. I'm more complaining that they're not focused on like long term. They did like a short term, like it's an easy week this week. We'll get out the easy target. Versus long term, it's like, wouldn't you want to keep the easy target in? That way you can have someone to beat in the finals.
Yeah.
Do you guys get what I'm saying now?
Yeah, I understand, but I think the problem with that strategy is exactly where ended up Andrew and Hamza where they are now. Because not everyone is going to be thinking that way. Everyone's going to be thinking, let's just, play it safe this first week. It's not me up there. We'll just do the easy thing. That's how a majority of the people are going to think. And if you come in just like, all right, let's go get all this strategy going out week 1, guns blazing. That's where Andrew and Hamza are at, and they're both on the block this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's just one of those things.
Ryan, but we'll talk about that later too. But
yeah. Okay, so what else did you guys want to talk about? Other than what else do I have?
Who won the HOH?
Ryan won the HOH.
Yeah, we didn't say that. Hey, Ryan won.
We didn't say that. Ryan won the HOH. And what do you guys think of that?
Well, I just want to take a second to remind everybody that last week I said Ryan was going to win the HOH, and he did it because, he's a boss. But I'm not happy with how he handled himself post win. And
really,
explain. Yeah. Well, you were missing. I think you were missing a little bit of the feeds, a little bit, Daniel. But immediately after, he's calling everybody in. And he's spilling all of his information, throughout the entire house. So he sort of became a just this verbal vomit of information, and so people sort of are afraid of him now, where they weren't before.
Yeah, he was talking about how he's watched 26 or 23 years of Big Brother, seen over 800 hours of the show, and I don't know. That's something that, like Jacob was saying, that's something that you would want to keep close to your chest, and he didn't do that right,
Yeah.
in my
Well,
opinion.
maybe. I mean, but that's always been his strategy coming in. He said, "I want to be friends with everyone. I want to do this and be the diary room villain. Be
Right.
like cool with everyone. Just like, hey, keep me around. I am
Right.
smart. I can do this. There's no reason to get me out right now when we can focus on other people. You're with me. You have a better chance of making it far because of my knowledge."
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing to do this early, because you know there's gonna be other super fans out there, and it's just one of those things where.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he has the likability to not be seen as like.
Now, don't
I
get
don't
me
know.
I
wrong.
disagree. I don't think he's likable.
See,
Really?
don't get
Really?
don't get me wrong. I love me some Ryan. I would love to have a beer with Ryan. I would love to talk Big Brother with Ryan. But I think like, given the people in the house and given the impressions that they gave us on the feeds, they now are targeting Ryan as soon as possible. Now, I don't think that's smart, but I think that this house has a history of some not very smart decisions. So already, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a week 3, week 4 target.
Oh, I 100% see that. And that's why, so for his nominations of it being Andrew and Hamza, where first off, why would you nominate your alliance members? I get
your allies,
I get that you want to not be targeted by the house, but if you only have like a few alliance members, you aren't going to go and nominate the majority or all of your alliance. Yeah. So you can potentially backdoor someone. Like, that's so stupid. And that's so, once again, like, it's short-sighted where he's just he's thinking like for the week and he's not really thinking for the long run. I don't understand why you wouldn't. And this is why, unfortunately, because the feeds were out for pre-veto to post-veto meeting, we didn't get to see all the game that happened. But why wouldn't you try to at least think of some way to direct the target, like not even put up Hamza. Like, I get that you don't want a target on your back, but it frustrates me so much.
Right.
Well, Hamza asked to be nominated. I mean, that's not. I mean, what is Ryan supposed to do with that? No.
Right.
I mean, you're getting an easy bloodless put up, and it's just one of those things where it's like you're asking me to put up. I don't even want to be allied with you right now at this point. If that's where your game's at. You know, and with all the talking and HOH and schmoozing, I think he has the ability to continue to make more allies like Erica when they shared their Wendy's meal.
Yeah. Now, I love. By the way, I love Ryan and Erica working together. I hope that continues because I think if he's got somebody like Erica next to him, I think they can power their way through the house. But I think he's going to need somebody. And once you've put up two of your, I hate using the word alliance because they're not really an alliance, but two people that you're close with in the house, you put yourself in danger of losing one of those people. And spoiler alert, they're both still on the block. So
yeah.
So that didn't work out too well because he definitely wanted to backdoor Allie, but
I thought he wanted to backdoor Olivia.
Oh, Olivia, my bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, Olivia.
You've gone robot on me, Jake.
Oh, hello.
Well, I just wanted to say, oh crap, what was I gonna say? You know what? Never mind, because I can't remember it because I got distracted by the robot thing. Daniel, did you want to add anything to that?
Not especially, to be honest. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be an interesting elimination, though.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember what it was that I wanted to talk about. So your comment about, Jacob, like how it'd be good to align with Erica. I would not want to align with Erica, like, whatsoever. You guys saw how fast she dropped Andrew, like, wanting to be a part of the house, and knowing that Ryan is, I don't think that Ryan has as much power as he thinks that he does going out of HOH. And so, like, I agree with Jacob that he's probably going to be targeted soon. So, like, I wouldn't fully trust her, seeing how she was able to drop Andrew so easily.
Well, who wouldn't?
I feel like that would happen to me too.
Who wouldn't have done the exact thing?
Dropped him so quickly.
Yeah. Jake, can you disconnect and reconnect maybe? Because you're just is he being a robot for you too?
He is a little bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That should clear it up, I think, Jake.
I'm not saying that Erica was in the wrong, like whatsoever. Like if I was in her position, yeah, I would want to distance myself from Andrew. But seeing like from a third party, seeing like, oh, Erica and Andrew were close, and then once Andrew was in hot water, Erica left. So that probably means that when I'm in hot water, that Erica's gonna leave me. And so that would like that would have some untrustworthiness. Like even if I'm close to Erica, I would be like, okay, I can't fully trust her.
Well, it's Big Brother. You never fully trust anybody. And if she decided to stick with Andrew and go against the entire house, when pretty much the whole house has been saying, if you don't eliminate Andrew from the HOH comp, like immediately, we're putting you on the block, just period. I mean, I would never want to be allied with someone who's just that dumb to not do something like that, you know?
No, and that's not okay. I think that we're saying two different things. But
okay.
I forgot. Can you guys remind me? Was Andrew the first person that was out?
I believe so.
No.
I think. Oh no.
Was he? Did Erica win the first one, or
I
did
think
Ryan?
Erica won the first one, and
yeah, he was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all that I was trying to remember. That's all.
And I think
her trying to follow with the house. I don't know. I always hate that line of logic. I have to do what the house wants.
Right.
Like, trying to stay safe, but at the same, it pisses me off.
Right. I think early in the game though, I think it's a pretty safe bet, and like I agree with Daniel. Whereas you can't afford to be loyal to somebody like Andrew when the house just hates him.
Right.
Because you are going to be guilty by association. We've seen that season after season in Big Brother where people are guilty by association and they find themselves as an easy target the following week.
No, and like that's not what I'm saying. Like I totally agree. If I was in Erica's position, I would 100% like I would do what she did. But at the same time, like it's still like it still says something about you that you're willing to drop someone when they're the first moment that it goes rough, that you're willing to drop someone. And if I'm looking for my ride or die, like I wouldn't want that in my ride or die. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like the whole Ryan and Erica thing, I'm saying that Ryan should be cautious about that.
Right. Yeah, I think I see them as a cerebral like power duo though. Whereas if they got together, she can compete and he can sort of mastermind, and she can kind of keep him quiet. I think. Like I think Ryan needs a handler, and I think that Erica would function well in that capacity, because she's more liked in the house, and they can sort of forge this bond, and I think really run over the house. But,
is she more liked in the house though? Because wasn't she voted the one that would cause the most drama potentially?
Yeah, night one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that I'm saying. I mean, because if we're gonna base like off of the whole untrustworthy thing, like people are viewing you to be untrustworthy, then I would probably also view the whole like causing drama, like I would view that to be important too. Do you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're telling me that you wouldn't align with Rachel Riley if you had the opportunity to?
No, I mean like probably like do what Brittany did, where she was nice to her face, but then in reality she wasn't aligned. Like she wasn't aligned with her long term, just for survival.
Yeah. See, I think I think it just comes with a just like a different opinion on how to play the game. I think if you put two of those people together, I think that given their different strengths and that they're sort of diverse, I think that they could potentially do a lot of damage in this house if they aren't seen as a duo right away.
Right.
Okay. Cool. We will agree to disagree.
Yeah.
So the only other thing that I have written down, actually there's a couple things. First off, Kayla, the Peely lookalike, I thought that she did a really stupid move by revealing that she has not 1 but 2 degrees, which I think are pretty beneficial in the house.
Yeah.
that, like, once again, it's just trying to keep your cards close. And why would you tell someone that you have a degree in psychology and criminology?
Right into the showman's bait. Oh, God.
Because that's her boyfriend, Kelly. Don't you know?
She's smitten. Didn't you hear in the
Oh, God, he's sitting outside the show.
I hate showmances so much.
Outside of the show.
I hate because, like, if Derek was smart, like, or if he wanted to, he could totally blast out information.
Well, quick question. Do you remember when Andrew was talking to other people and hearing that someone was trying to be a lawyer? Wasn't he talking about Kayla?
He was talking about Olivia, I thought.
Olivia.
Oh, was it Olivia? Oh, okay.
I think Olivia is pre-law.
Yeah, that's why they want to target her.
Right. I think the edit just confused my brain because it was like right after that. I'm like, oh, he just instantly went and told everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was different person.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the edits have been confusing in sort of the timeline of things this season, it seems like. But
yeah, I was really hoping that it would like start to calm down now that they can actually take their time and they don't have to cram so much into the episodes. But it's still like, I mean, unfortunately, this isn't their first season. This is season 6. They have this down by now. They should be better than this.
Right.
So that's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, but hey, the season's brought to you by Wendy's, so what can go wrong?
Oh, and don't forget Hasbro's games.
Oh yeah, Hasbro as well. Yeah, they brought.
They can play Twister. Hey.
Yeah, where then they didn't even show it, but they can play it.
Yep.
They have the option.
They'll show it for the veto episode, I'm sure. There's not too much going on in that episode. I'm sure they'll.
Well, no, because the veto is going to be Tomb Raider themed because it's hosted because it's sponsored by Tomb Raider. Yeah. So there's no way that they might have like, a little something, but they're not going to do Twister.
Yeah.
So speaking of so that ended the. Do we have anything that we want to add about the episode that we watched?
No, I think that's about it. To be fair.
Okay.
Oh, I do think that Ryan was really smart. One last thing.
Okay.
About who he put as have-nots.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. That was a good call on his thought.
I totally agree with.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I'm righting all of Andrew's wrongs, left and right. He's gone. You guys are no longer in hell. These heaven people are in hell. I'm so much better than Andrew.
Yeah, so
there's a lot of little psychological things that are good with that.
Yeah, slow clap for you, Daniel. That was very well articulated there.
Oh man. Also, another thing, Hansa needs to calm down. Like, the way that he's acting, the fact that he wants to go up onto the block, like, never go up onto the block. I get that you want to try to not be backdoored. But there are so many other options, and you should at least try to trust yourself a little bit. But if you're on the block and veto doesn't get used, you have a 50% chance of going home. And that's absolutely stupid. So he's probably going to get out pre-jury.
How are you afraid of being backdoored week 2? What have you done? What horrible thing have you done?
If Andrew's going up on the block, then Hansa definitely is.
Everyone hates Andrew. He's pretty much the surefire kill. Why are you like, yo, they're gonna backdoor me? Why do? Don't be dumb. Just don't do that.
And that's another frustrating part of like the episode on how it was laid out, because I do agree with you. I don't see the line other than DRs. Like, I don't see the line of thought between Andrew's the target, so then we definitely have to put up Hansa.
Yeah. So they missed a huge conversation in the bathroom as well. So they just edited that completely out where the house was talking to when I say the house, I mean Johnny and his girls were talking to Ryan and saying, hey, look, these guys are together. And Ryan was like, I don't want to do that, but if you guys want me to do that, I'll do that. So like, that's the link, is this big conversation in the bathroom that the editors missed.
See, that would be nice to know. Like, that kind of change. I mean, just getting the whole, it's the whole gate crashers all over again, not getting the big picture, only getting just a snippet of it, so not understanding.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I don't think there was the real reason for Hamza to be so paranoid. He's just hella paranoid for no reason
yeah,
and making stupid mistakes because he's already so antsy week 2.
yeah.
I
He's
don't
got
think there's like a reason that he's like seriously afraid.
Yeah.
I think he's just seriously afraid because he's just not getting
Yeah.
like a
He's
read of the
ADD.
house at
Yeah.
all.
Like he's like super ADD to me. Like he has to be doing something to keep himself from bouncing off the walls. So
Right. Weird
um,
casting choice. The
yeah,
answer is correct.
yeah,
That's my pencil man.
yep.
Yeah.
So anything else to add about this episode? Because I have some ranting that I want to do.
Oh, more. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, good.
Daniel, I don't know if like you were paying attention to the feeds at all, but they basically had the feeds down for over 24 hours.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
From pre-veto all the way to noon today, which was like after the veto ceremony. And not only that, but every time that when the feeds are on, every time that any of the house guests talk about the veto or anything to do with veto, they just totally cut it out.
Right.
And that is so ridiculous. And it's kind of like a spit in the face. In my opinion, it's like a spit in the face to the fans because you say that you want the fans, like this is for the fans, you guys brought us back, but then you don't give any explanation as to why the feeds are down. And they didn't even, for the first like 16 hours, they didn't even say that the feeds would be down like all night. So you have people that were watching and they were waiting for hours and hours and hours, just waiting for the feeds to come back on. And it's so frustrating. And production needs to be more, if they truly care about the fans, production needs to be more vocal and communicate better to at least explain, hey, we're going to be down and hopefully we'll be up at this time. That way people don't just waste their time waiting for the feeds to come up like that for over 24 hours.
Yeah, that was the longest I think that I remember feeds being down. Where I've been following feeds, but I don't know, Kelly. Can you think of a time where feeds were down for a longer period of time without explanation?
I genuinely can't. I haven't been following the feeds for super long. I bet if Lou was here, he would be able to tell us more because he's been watching a lot longer. But it really pissed me off, and that combined with the editing of this episode and the last couple episodes, like things are just really confusing, and I'm not liking the way that this season is playing out so far. So
I have no problem with the house guests at all. I think they're great. I think what needs to happen is like you said, I think there needs to be more clarity on the production side. And the producers need to make sure that there's causal links between the things that you're talking about in the episode. Like, have you noticed that they don't properly introduce segments? It seems like this season, like going into the HOH, we just saw people going out in the backyard, and it wasn't until Johnny said, "Hey, this is for the HOH," that anybody knew that the HOH competition was going on.
Mm-hmm. See, the only thing that I can think of for that, and we'll have to pay attention next episode as well, is because we did show up like 8 minutes late to the episode. So they might have done something before that. You know what I mean?
Quite possible. That's right. We didn't get any Arissa this episode at all. No, like, hey guys, we're gonna here's a recap. Oh yeah, we did get it at the end. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
that's true.
So yeah, I'm really frustrated about how this season is panning out so far, and it better turn around because I don't want to be pissed off all season long while we do these podcasts.
Oh man, I think I think the production can definitely do a better job, but I'm really happy with the house guests that they've casted. I think we've got a nice, diverse group of people, and I think we're going to be in for an entertaining summer. Brought to you by Wendy's. Any thoughts, Daniel? Any thoughts on production or feeds or anything?
No. But okay. I'm not like uber super mega fan, so it's just kind of like true. I mean, it's working out so far. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see it. Like 24 hours of feeds down. I'm just gonna like, they don't want to spoil what they're gonna be putting into the things. They don't want to
Episode,
tell
yeah.
big things coming out. Like
Yeah.
the veto is going to be in part of the next episode, all that other good stuff.
Right.
So,
Cool.
but I mean, from watching the feeds, you can figure out quite a bit, even if they
Yeah.
got that stuff out, because people are going to be talking about it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
for me, it's not that big of a deal. But
what
like I said,
I'm worried about is that, like, that there was stuff that went down and we have no idea. So, like, just think about this episode alone. So imagine if the feeds had been down, like, Jacob, that bathroom example that you gave about how there was the conversation with Johnny and the girls and Ryan. Like,
Yep.
if the feeds had been down for us to not see that, then I would still be confused about why it is that Hamza is seen as such an asset to Andrew.
Right.
Why they're seen as a duo, but having that helps. And so that's why it's very frustrating for me, because, and a lot of other fans too, because you have these things that, of course, they can't fit everything into the episode, but if you cut out these extra scenes, then it leaves us confused. And it's just like, why did these things happen the way that they do? Why did Rosina go home when she made, like, such great points? I mean, I get, like, we've already talked about it. Like, we don't have to talk again about, like, why she ended up going home. But there's really integral parts that you miss out when you don't have the feeds, and having the feeds down for over 24 hours, it leaves us confused about what happened.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Do you mind if I change tack really quickly and ask you, both of you, whose stock rose for you this week? Like, who are you liking more this week than you did last week? Anybody?
stock rose. I'm not sure.
Who do you like better?
Yeah, who do you like better? Is there anybody that you wish you could sell now if you could?
Oh, whose stock rose?
Yeah,
Okay, I thought you said like stock rose, like.
No.
Okay, so that makes more sense. You're talking economics now.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Okay. So starting with Daniel, what do you got?
What do I got? For sure, Paris's went up because she's already viewed how she wants to be viewed, and she's aware of it, which is amazing for her and her game. I still think that Ryan is in a good position. Like I said, with what he's been doing, kind of like the reversing of Andrew. And the reverse of your question, stock went down, definitely Hamza. Okay. It's ridiculous how far he's loaded. But that's what I expected from him, so it's fine.
Yeah. So for me, I think, this feels a little like cheating because I drafted this person, but I think Johnny's stock for me went way up because he's got all of the girls as like BFFs, and they all seem to be working together pretty strongly. And yeah, I feel like he's got a good layer of protection with the guys even, and I feel like he could make it really far. Farther than I thought last week after his disastrous HOH.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't know if anyone's has necessarily, Maddie's has gone up a little bit. It seems like she hasn't really put a target on herself as much anymore. Kayla's has gone down for me. Like her revealing that really huge part of her life, which can make her a target to a showmance. Like, I mean, we all kind of saw it. I was really hoping that she was going to come in because she was talking about being competitive and she seemed to be okay, but like her stock for me went down. And Maddie's went up. Everyone else, it stayed about the same. I mean, I guess Andrew's has kind of gone down. Kind of already saw that coming though with him choosing the people, but he could have spun that. Sorry, my camera keeps freaking out. He could have spun that to a better light than how he did this week. So, and I'm not fully sure what it is that he did because a lot of that happened the first week in the house that we didn't really get to see. And then it's just continued on since then. Yeah. So his stock has gone down for me.
So would we all agree that right now, if we had to redraft, that Paris would be the favorite?
I think so. I mean, she's my favorite. That's for sure. And Maddie. I like her and Maddie a lot.
Daniel, what do you think?
The favorite, she'd definitely be in my top 3.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she's necessarily my favorite, but game-wise, her position's really good right now.
How are you feeling about Erica? We haven't talked about her much this episode, just because we only saw that blow up with Andrew. But how do you feel about Erica going forward?
I like where like how she's doing. Like she's separating game from her personal feelings, because you could tell like Andrew being mad at her even after they had kind of like been good personal friends really affected her, but she instantly did what was good for her game, and she even went back and tried to apologize. And excuse me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you, Daniel, that I do think, like, to be clear, I think that she did the right move by pulling herself away. Like, that's exactly what I would do. And there goes my camera again. I think that she's doing pretty well in the house. No one seems to be wanting to target her yet.
Yeah, her social game is really, really strong. I think, again, I'm so mad that you stole her from me, Daniel, but I think that she is probably my biggest lock for final two if I had to make a choice right now. I think you're sitting pretty with her. So
that's why I picked her first.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Awesome. So, do we have anything else that we want to add, or can we close this out?
I think we can close it out. It was an action-packed episode, and I can't wait for more.
Yeah,
back to the feeds.
Back to the feeds.
Yes, if they're on.
Oh, they are. They are. Right before we started recording.
No, I know that was a joke.
Oh, it's a joke. It's funny.
Yeah.
So we will be back on Wednesday with, fingers crossed, the four of us. Hopefully my camera will be doing better, and Jacob will sound like not a robot the entire time, and it's going to be awesome. So we'll see you guys Wednesday for the veto competition. Woo!
See you guys.
Sounds good. See ya.